Hello and welcome to another episode of Wide With Declan. As always, we will discuss NASCAR related topics, so let's get right into it. Our first topic is Kyle Larson. Arrow McLaren interested in Kyle Larson making second Indy 500 start. So Kyle Larson, it was announced last year that Kyle Larson would be doing the double in 2024, racing for Arrow McLaren in the NTT IndyCar Series Indy 500, and then would be immediately hopping on a plane down to Charlotte and racing in the racing in the 65th running of the Coca-Cola 600. Well, I kind of know what this was all about because I was at the Coca-Cola 600 this year, and I'm not a Larson fan, but I was like kind of bummed that I didn't get to see him run the double in person. So now that Mother Nature ruined Kyle Larson's double this year, they're looking at a second attempt, and hopefully Mother Nature doesn't interfere with it this time. So Kyle Larson actually qualified fifth, and was in the mix to win the Indy 500, but got a speeding penalty. He was leading, but then he had to make his final pit stop with a couple of laps to go, and ended up with an 18th place finish. Justin Allgaier started the race, or ran the 5 car at Charlotte in the 600. But since Kyle Larson was unable to run, he did this week get a playoff waiver. That was also one of the big news stories of the week. Kyle Larson granted a playoff waiver. But it will be interesting to see if Kyle Larson actually does do the double for the second year in a row. So Arrow McLaren interested in seeing Kyle Larson run the double again. Our second topic is Todd Gilliland re-signing with Front Row Motorsports for the 2025 for a multi-year deal with Front Row Motorsports. So Front Row Motorsports is one of the hottest topics this silly season so far, and the silly season's just starting. They already acquired a third charter from Front Row acquired a third charter from Stewart Haas Racing, who is ceasing operations at the end of the 2024 season. So if I were to guess, the number will be 36 for the third charter, but that made 3 because Todd Gilliland wasn't re-signed yet, but just yesterday he did re-sign for Front Row Motorsports. That leaves only 2 FRM cars open. And also I heard that there's going to be a 3 charter rule in the Cup Series. You are only now allowed to have a max of 3 charters, apparently. So if this does happen, Hendrick and Gibbs are the only 2 remaining teams in the Cup Series that have 4 charters. Hendrick dropping the 48. I think Bowman's the odd man out, so he's got to go somewhere, maybe be a reserve driver for them or something. And then if Truex retires, I think that Joe Gibbs is just going to drop the 19 and have the 11, the 20, and the 54. And because Bell and Gibbs are locked in for the long haul, Hamlin maybe the next couple of years. Maybe Hamlin's got a couple more years left in him. And now some more at the Toyota stable. If this 3 charter rule isn't actually going to happen to Hendrick and Gibbs, then where I'm possibly hearing now, Truex retires, Eric Jones goes to the 19, reunites with Joe Gibbs Racing, and possibly Chase Briscoe or Corey Heim or Riley Herbst. Those are 3 names that I've heard rumors if Eric Jones does leave Legacy Motor Club to take Eric's seat in the 43. Well, for Briscoe, I personally think Briscoe's been a Ford, and as you know, if you don't know, Briscoe's been a Ford driver since day one. So I personally see Briscoe move into Wood Brothers, being in the 21, replacing Harrison Burton. Harry Burton goes down to the Xfinity Series. Harrison Burton down to the Xfinity Series, possibly driving one of the Front Row Xfinity cars. That's going to happen. Riley Herbst going to that third charter of the 2311 Racing. Corey Heim to take Eric Jones' seat at Legacy Motor Club. And and some more. And I have Cole Custer taking the 34, and maybe possibly. And I also currently now have Josh Berry driving the 36, and but Chase Briscoe could drive the 36 if Harrison Burton resigns. So, but maybe RCR could buy a third charter and put Noah Gregson in that. So who knows what's going to happen this silly season. And now on to my weekend predictions. My winner prediction is Martin Truex for this weekend's race. Going to get it done for a second year in a row in wine country. And now your long shot of the week, brought to you by Original Big Shot Bobs. We have Daniel Suarez, a former winner here at Sonoma 2 years ago. He's been pretty fat. He's a pretty good road racer. Been pretty fast this year, especially with his win at Atlanta. He had a rough year other than that, but he has since gotten it turned around. Done what he needed to do. And now for the Xfinity Series, Cole Custer, road course winner last year. Shane Van Gisbergen and Justin Allgaier, saw how fast he was at Portland last week. Those are 3 guys to look out for. And that does it for this week on Wide With Declan. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and bye for now.